it. Let's see what it does. It already hit. Shalom, everyone. Um, Once again, to the 12 tribes scattered or dispersed but not destroyed. Um, I want to come to you today just to talk about moving in your purpose or moving as the Most High commands you to move. Um, and we could go through several scriptures. We could go into the book of Genesis and we could talk about Abram when he was asked to leave Ur of the Chaldees. But that's not the vantage point that I want to take. So a few months ago, um, I was sitting I was sitting in my shower after I had my surgery, and just praying and asking the Most High what it is that He wanted me to do going forward in this walk. And I was speaking to just my wife was walking in and out, and it was weird. And I hate to say it like this, but it sounded like he was like, "Bet on yourself." And so what I did, I decided to take that advice. And so what I did was I decided that it would be best for me to invest in myself, and not depend on other people, or depend on or look towards other people for me to move forward in ministry. Um, I've been helped out by a lot of people. Um, Moray Yosh, Brother Joe, Chauncey, or Brother Malak, and all these brothers have poured into me. Brother Craig Miles, Brother Euron. All these people have poured into me and have sowed into me. Anna Jack and her husband Daryl, they've sowed into our ministry and tried to help with a platform for us to move forward. But, it wasn't until I understood that I was going to have to really just stop playing and sow into myself. And I'm not saying to sow into me, but to show the Most High that if He blessed me, I would pour into this ministry. And so my wife kind of walked back into the bathroom while I was taking a shower, and I said, "Baby, the Most High told me to pour in, to sow into myself, to bet on myself." So I gave her a number. I was said that I was going to try to sow $5,000 this year into getting things for this ministry to help it move forward, from video equipment to computer systems, all in the hope of making this better, not so that I can get any glory from it, but that the Most High would get all the glory from it. And no sooner than I said that, Yah put me in a position to where I had to prove it, and He blessed me with some finances, some financial help, and so I started investing. The Mevo camera, all these little things that I'm doing now. Really trying to figure out if I'm gonna go and get me another laptop, or just get me an iPad, an iPad to operate the cameras, to purchase another Mevo camera, maybe a soundboard, mixers, things like that to help with the production quality and the sound quality. These things, when we and I'm saying this because I'm at a position in my life where it's time for me to focus on something outside of me. Um, a lot of my life I've spent giving to others to a fault. Um, you know, um, and I haven't shared this with a lot of people, but I was a father at 16. I, you know, I really didn't have a chance to be what I would say a kid. I was kind of thrusted into the role of being an adult earlier than I wanted to because I had a kid at 16. I was in the Army at 17. I was overseas in Germany at 18. And so I had to grow up fast. And then by the time I was 25, I'd already had 6 kids. And actually, to be honest with you, had 9 kids, including, what some people would call stepkids, but I don't like to call them stepkids because I ain't stepped on none of them. So by the time I was 25, I had 9 kids. And, me growing up as a man was pretty rough, but I'd always had this call, this this pull for ministry. I knew that I was going to teach Yah's word. I've known it ever since I was 9. And so, when do we make the work of Yah more important, or put it up there at a level where it should be? And I tell a lot of people this: if you're not willing to die for this, then this isn't the walk for you. And what I'm saying is, if you are one of the Yahudim, if you are a Berean, one that studies the Yahudim, one of the those of Judah, one of the his apostles, one of his disciples, you have to be willing to put your life in jeopardy for this thing, because people aren't going to believe you. People aren't going to trust you. It's going to come with a lot of traveling. It's going to come with a lot of expense. But that isn't the thing that we should worry about. What we should worry about is if we die and don't do that which the Most High has asked us to do or told us to do, then we don't have to worry about what we didn't do here. We're going to have to worry about what we didn't do in the pits of hell. And that's not the route I want to take with my life at all. And I'm grateful that I have a wife who is understanding of this, and she allows me to actually walk in my call, knowing that it means the world to me. She allows me to teach her. She even shares with me, and so I have one of those. Maisha, she's so understanding that a lot of people in this walk, when they meet her, they don't understand, for the most part, why she's the way she is. Well, because she loves the Most High as well. And to be honest with you, when we met, me and her started dating, I was so far away from Yah that I didn't want to go. And this was during the time that I didn't step foot in the church. Even though I had been preaching for years, I, went through a bad divorce. I didn't want to be in a church. I didn't want to have nothing to do with the Most High. And, but Yah had a way. And, I was at my lowest point. I was, I had bought a house. I had a real good job. And I was raising my family. Um, and it seemed like all in one year, everything that I thought I had established crumbled. I lost my job of 10 years. I lost my home. My marriage to my ex-wife went up in smoke. And then I found myself without a job. I had to enroll to go back to school so I could get some money in my pocket. Um, I found myself living at my mom and dad's house, and what 32-year-old man wants to be sleeping back in your bedroom that you were in when you were 15? It's kind of, to me, it was kind of degrading. And I stayed there for 3 years trying to get back on my feet. Most of my check was going to child support, and I just couldn't seem to get ahead for anything. And I think I reached my lowest point, and I was praying one day, and I hadn't spoke to the Most High in years. I was running around the streets, chasing women. I was pitiful. I'm not even gonna lie, I was just straight up pitiful. And then I went before him, and I was like, look, I know what you called me to do. And if you want me to do this thing, you're gonna have to give me a wife, because there is no way in the world I could do this and be single. It just wasn't gonna work because I was too whorish. The great thing about me is, for the most part, when I'm with somebody, I try to be faithful. Um, Hold up, that could get some backlash too. Yes, I've messed around, but for the most part, now as I've gotten older, at that point, I was like, if I can just get in the position to have a wife again, I would slow down. I would stop doing the stuff that I was doing, and I would focus on my family. And so that was probably, I want to say that was sometime in August of of 2005. Then September 2005 rolls around, and I meet my wife on my birthday. She was a patron at the casino, and we haven't been apart, as far as not being in a relationship together since that time. Our relationship was rocky in the beginning, but the Most High has a way of pulling you through situations if you're obedient. And I want to tell you that if you feel like you are charged to do something for Yah, if you feel like, if you know in your heart of hearts that He has called you for a purpose, and I know a lot of people are going to say stuff because I'm not opening up verses and anything like this, opening up the script and reading scripture. I just don't feel like that's what God wants me to do right now. So I'm just going to talk to you. I think if you are chosen by the Most High, and you know that you are, step out on faith. Step out there knowing that if He called you, He's going to provide for you. The birds don't worry about where they're going to lay their head, nor do they worry about what they're going to eat. The Most High provides. And when I told him this year that I was going to invest in ministry, um, it was funny because he opened up some doors for my wife and I that we had been waiting to be opened for, what, 4 years now? Yeah, going on 4 years. That day that I said I would invest in myself, you know, I got good news. It was probably a few weeks after that I got some good news. So I want to just share this with you because sometimes I think the things that we're waiting for, the things that we're looking for the Most High to do for us, the things that we're waiting to receive from Yah, a lot of times what Yah is really doing is waiting on you to see if you are really serious. Um, it wasn't until Abraham moved, until Abram moved out of the Chaldees, then the Most High changed his name and made a covenant with him, and they cut meat. It wasn't until he moved and he showed the Most High that he was able to be obedient to his word and do those things that he wanted him to do before he blessed him. So I'm not going to stay on here long. I just really wanted to just come to you for a few minutes and just tell you that if you feel like there's something that is pulling you, and if it's something, go to the Most High about it. And then be willing, if you feel like it's something that the Most High is leading you to do, bet on yourself. And I'm not trying to be self-absorbed. I'm saying trust what the Most High has told you to do. That's what I mean by bet on yourself. Believe that that's what the Most High told you to do, and see if it doesn't bear fruit. And if it doesn't bear fruit, then you know you're going to have to be faithful. So I want to tell you thank you for those who have come on, all 4 or 5 of you, those who have taken out time out of their evening to listen to me here on YouTube. Also, if you have subscribed to our page and you're getting notifications, please share our messages with your friends. I'm asking that if you're a member, if you're a subscriber, please share our messages on your Facebook page, or share them with your friends and ask your friends to subscribe. I'm not trying to do this just to get the views, but right now we're at 200 and we're at 205. And, that's a lot further than I thought we would be. But I want to get this message out. If you're being blessed by the things that you're hearing here from me or from the other brothers at the RDFW, feel free, man, to share it. Share it on your social media platforms as well, so that we may be able to get some more subscribers. Once again, I'm grateful for the Most High. I'm grateful for the people that He put in my life that helped me in this walk, because the truth is a lonely walk, and it can be very lonely when you're out here and nobody understands you, or nobody understands why you live with your head in a book, or why you want to walk according to the law, statutes, and commandments when you grew up being told that all you had to do was say I believe, and that all your sins were covered. Well, that's a whole different story in itself. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Once again, I want to just, you know, I want you to think about it, because a lot of times we're held up because we don't trust the Most High enough to step out. A lot of people, you go without. You've asked for things, and you go without because you haven't proven to Him that you're ready for it. And and so just step out on faith, knowing that He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think, according to the power that is in us. And that power is the power of obedience. That was the power that was in Abraham. That was the power that was in Noah. That was the power that was in Moses. Um, they were obedient to his word and to his call. And because of that, even though they went through their struggles, they still were blessed. So once again, I want to say shalom to you. Thank you for tuning in once again, and may the Most High be a blessing to you. Shalom.